In today's video, I'm going to do a comparison on my personal 2020 Tesla Model Y long range and this 2022 IONIQ 5 Limited. It's the top trim. The cost of these vehicles are similar. The long range is a $58,000 car starting price. The IONIQ starts at $43,000. This specific one is $55,000, but it still qualifies for the $7,500 federal tax rebate. So we're going to cover the exterior of the car, the interiors, different technology features, the ranges of the vehicle, and hopefully if you're shopping for an electric vehicle, and if you're shopping for either of these vehicles, that will help you out. So let's just jump right into the content, because that's what you have to say on YouTube. You have to jump into the content because I guess the viewer isn't smart enough to know that that's what we're going to do. So anyways. Okay, so first we'll start with the front part of the car. With electric vehicles, because there's no engine, Tesla has set a precedent to have front storage space, so that's something now I look for. So let's check what's under the hood of the Hyundai. Now, in case you didn't know, this is an EV. In case you forget, all you have to do is open your hood and you'll see that. So the storage space in here, I mean, you could probably fit the charger for the car here, not nearly as usable as the Tesla. So on the Tesla, there's a much more usable frunk. It goes down probably 14 inches, and when you're doing things like road trips, you can put shoes or something that's dirty or muddy or whatever you want up here, so you have a usable front end on the Tesla. Both of these cars use glass for their windows. However, the visibility on the Tesla is surprisingly significantly worse than the IONIQ 5. The IONIQ 5 has a much better visibility out of the back. I think because of the sloped roof, when you go to look out of the rear view mirror, it's just this tiny little window that you have to look through. So visibility-wise, I'd say the IONIQ is much more easy to get used to. The Tesla is still good, but just comparing the two, the IONIQ is better in that sense. The range on this specific IONIQ is 256 miles. If you get the rear-wheel drive variant, it's 303 miles. Tesla currently does not offer a rear-wheel drive variant. It will be coming back, I think, once they introduce the 4680 batteries back into production, they'll have a rear-wheel drive model. But basically what Elon said is if their car can't be over 250 miles of range, it's not worth making, so that's what they're waiting on. So this model comes with 320 horsepower. If you get the rear-wheel drive version, it comes with more range and has 225 horsepower. Now, in terms of range, the EPA estimate 256, EPA estimate 316 when I bought it, and that's with the 20-inch wheels. If you get the 19-inch wheels, it's a 330-mile estimated range. Now, with that said, I've owned this car for 35,000 miles now. It's very hard to get the EPA estimated range, whereas every other EV manufacturer seems to underrate their cars and you end up getting more. So in my experience, the IONIQ has been pretty accurate to its EPA estimated range. The Tesla is probably about 270 miles of range, unless you're not using the air conditioning or heating and you're driving at like 60 miles per hour. So that's just something to be aware of. The other interesting thing is I couldn't find an exact answer on this. Now, Hyundai is very clear that their battery is 77.4 kilowatt hours. Tesla does not disclose the size of their battery. I think the overall size is 83 kilowatt hours, but nothing on Tesla's website specifically says how big the battery is and what the usable space is, which I find to be kind of weird. I don't know if the reason for that is to reduce battery degradation over time with software, so if they don't tell you how big it is, they can adjust it over time. I'm not exactly sure. You guys can let me know in the comments, but they do not disclose that exclusively. The cargo capacity, now this being a hatchback, these are actually similar in size, which is surprising because you would think this is the size of like a Golf GTI or a Ford Focus. It's actually very large, and when you see it next to a Tesla or in person, you can understand that. So looking at the rear hatch here, the cargo capacity is not as big in the IONIQ as it is in the Tesla. But one very cool feature that Andrew and I are obsessed with is how the rear seat reclines, and I'll show you that in a second. Another cool feature here, so the specific numbers on this, Tesla has 76 cubic feet of space in the back with the seats folded down, and then this has 59.3 cubic feet with the seats folded down. And you can actually see how cut and sloped the roof line is here once the trunk is open. They kind of fool you because the spoiler on the back makes it look very squared off. Now, what I wanted to point out is you can see this notch right here so you can move up this trunk cover. So because you can move this trunk cover and still use it while being able to recline the rear seat is a really cool feature. Now the Tesla rear seats do recline, so they still have that feature, but this is extreme. So I'm gonna show you here. When we get in the back, and you think if you're gonna be charging your car on a road trip, everyone might wanna take a 30-minute nap while you're charging. This reclines all the way back. I mean, my head disappears. It's just very comfortable back here, and I think their focus on passenger comfort in this car is extremely cool. Another cool feature with the back of the car is if you wanted to make this your home office away from home, you can move this center console. So it shifts back and forth. So you could move these seats up and then pull the center console back and put these seats up and have your laptop back here so you could work. I think that is also a cool feature of the IONIQ 5. Now, earlier we briefly touched on price, but I want to go back to that. So this IONIQ is $54,500. That's before the delivery fee, which is like $1,200. It starts at $43,650. So if you get an entry-level model of this car with the available tax credit, it's $36,150, which I love because it's making an EV into an affordable car. That's one of the issues right now. These batteries cost so much to make. So because of that government incentive, it really brings it under the national average of a new car being sold, which right now it's above $40,000, which is way too high. So I think that makes this an even more appealing package while it still qualifies for that. Another important thing that Tesla owners are constantly concerned about is over-the-air updates. So over-the-air updates in Tesla are very cool. They're constantly doing holiday updates. Even Tesla Twitter at times has dictated what the next updates are. So it's very cool that they can have their engineers adjust that, send an update to your car that you can download through Wi-Fi, and it changes your car. That's good because it helps the value of the car over time. Traditionally with cars, when you buy the 2021 model, you're stuck with everything in it. When the 2022 model comes out, it has new software, it has new features, you have no way of getting those. So it's cool that these new electric cars are doing the over-the-air updates, and the IONIQ, I was happy to see, does have over-the-air updates access. You can access it through the Hyundai app on the phone, which I have not downloaded yet. With this being a press car, I have no way to get into that and give you a fair review of it, but there is an app. Hopefully it works well, but I just don't have any experience with it. Now, the warranty on these cars, Hyundai is known for their 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, and it's no different on this car. It says specifically it's a 5-year, 60,000-mile new vehicle warranty compared to Tesla's 4-year, 50,000-mile vehicle warranty, whichever comes first between the two. And then also the new vehicle 10-year, 100,000-mile, and it specifically says electric vehicle system warranty. So their great warranty still applies to this car, and you can understand people's concern, well, what happens when it breaks, and what about the warranty? So it is new technology, it is one of their first EVs, but the fact that you're backed by that warranty makes me more comfortable with buying new technology. Tesla's warranty in comparison, it's the battery and drive unit is 8 years, 120,000 miles, whichever comes first. Now, in terms of driving dynamics, the Tesla is a much more sporty car. Now, this is all-wheel drive. It does 0 to 60 in the mid to low 5s. This does it in 4.8 seconds. It also has the ability for $2,000 to put a performance boost on it, which takes it down to 4.2 seconds. The Tesla is more sporty. They still have 20-inch wheels. This has a slightly thinner sidewall than the Michelin's on the IONIQ. These are excellent tires, by the way, that it comes with. This is just a more comfortable car. It's a cruiser. It's a little bit more spacious. Doesn't have as much cargo room, but for the passengers, it's more comfortable. The back seats are more comfortable. They're fairly stiff in the Tesla. The Tesla has a firmer ride, even though they still both have 20-inch wheels. So sportier car, softer car, and then similar in range. So these are two different buyers in my opinion. And really what it comes down to for me is, I love this car, I love this car. If you're going to be taking a road trip with them, it's tougher because the Tesla charging network is far superior right now. You walk up, you plug it in, your car is immediately charging. We took this to an Electrify America charger. It worked fine, but it's just a little more fiddling around that you have to do compared to Tesla. It's plug and go. So I'm not trying to be biased towards Tesla or anything like that. I would say if you like this car better and you know you're not going to be taking any road trips, you can absolutely go with this car. I think if it's going to be your only electric car, I would lean towards Tesla because of the reliable charging network. That's really my only differentiator. I know Tesla's been making electric vehicles for a longer amount of time, so their battery technology is better. Their motors in the car run more efficiently, there's no doubt about that. But this is so impressive to me that their first EV, first of all, the looks of it are amazing. Everyone that I'm driving around town here is looking at this car, they ask what it is, so that's kind of fun. And the design of it is much more inspiring than the Tesla. The Tesla is very form, it's to be as aerodynamic as possible to reduce the coefficient of drag. And this is just like, it looks like someone made it in Roblox. Is that how you say that?
Play Roblox?
I don't play it, but someone told me to say that, so shout out. Hey, hey, it's me on Roblox. What do you even do in that game? We're going off the rails, folks. Another cool thing about this IONIQ is these presenting door handles. They present themselves to you, right? On the Tesla, when someone comes up to the Tesla, here's a new Tesla owner or someone who's never gotten into Tesla. Here's what they do. What is this thing? How do you do this? And the way to do it, thumb here, grab, IQ 200. This is IQ, no IQ. A monkey would know how to do this. You just pull, because the door handles present themselves. It opens right up. And I like that. Like that they sit flush, they tuck themselves away. So I'll show you how the key works. When it locks, they go away. And there's two ways to enter the car from this point. So sometimes when you walk up to the car, they will present themselves. Right now they're not presenting. So there's a square here where I can tap, and then everything opens up. A couple ways to get into the car, just so you know. So now on to the interior of the car, some of the infotainment features. You're all familiar with the Tesla. It has the 15-inch display, touch display, and there's only one. This is a little different. There's two 12.3-inch displays. This one is touch, the other one is not, and I'm going to show you some of the functionality now. So now on to the interior of the IONIQ 5. It's very simplistic, minimalistic. Looks really cool to me. While not being as crazy as the Tesla where you only have one screen to rely on, there are still some buttons which I find useful, and there's a lot in this display. So it does have a start-stop button. Press that. The car is now on. And this is a touch screen, very responsive, slides right over, and there's tons of options in here. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I really like. It also has heated and ventilated seats. Now, while it's really nice to have this, especially ventilated seats, which isn't even an option on the Model 3 or Model Y, my issue is that you have to dig far into menus while you're driving, whereas in the Tesla, you can use voice commands and keep your hands on the wheel to access just about anything in the screen, because it can be tough to see something as you're driving, which it's nice that they have the volume control here, some quick buttons that you can access. So there's a lot in here that's very cool. Another cool feature is quiet mode, where when you click quiet mode, it cuts off sound in the rear, so if you have kids sleeping in the back, there's no sound while there's still volume up here, and it limits it to 25. So there's just some unique features where they're really thinking about the passengers in this car, which I really appreciate. The steering wheel is like almost identical to a Lucid. It's also funny that there is no logo on the wheel. I've never seen a car that doesn't have its brand or logo or anything on the wheel. It's just plain. There's also a wireless charging port down under the center console, but it's just a very simplistic look while still giving people their miles per hour and everything here up front. It also has various drive modes. So if you click this button here, you have Sport, Eco, and Normal, and also your range changes based on which of those modes you're in. In the Tesla, when you put it into chill mode, which reduces the acceleration, it doesn't give you a difference in range. So it'd be nice if it had that feature, but I really like that this does. So there's a lot of technology in this car. The interior, the quality of this interior really impressed me. The visibility is great. You have the sunroof here that you can open up, which that is an awesome feature. I just can't say enough good about this car, and it doesn't make a difference to me whether you buy a Tesla or whether you buy a Hyundai or whether you buy an ID4 or a Mustang Mach-E. I don't care what you buy. I'm just trying to present these facts to you so you can go make a decision on your own. But I think it's a clean look. I think the warranty is great. I think the performance and comfort are perfect. And it has different looks to it. It has the Bose sound system with ambient lighting. So let's take a look at the lighting. We can go to, it does also have a heads-up display, and then lights, and then ambient light. I don't know why it's not letting me change. Anyways, you can go in there, adjust the different colors of the ambient light, and I'll show you that in a future video showing you some of the nighttime features of the IONIQ. So there's lots of cool features in here. There's plenty of technology. It has over-the-air updates. So here's a look at the IONIQ key. Now, the Tesla is known for its smart summon feature, which you can hit summon on your car, and you've seen the videos where it drives right to you in a parking lot. The IONIQ doesn't have that advanced of a system, but it does have 2 buttons on the key here, which let you push the car into tight spaces. So there's forward and there's reverse. It's just really nice that they have that option. I don't mind that it's not that advanced. I'm just happy they did think of this, and it's only available on the top trim level, this being the limited, so it does have that. On the SE and SEL, it's not a feature. So I hope that was helpful to you if you're shopping for these 2 cars. I'm also going to do a video talking about the ID.4, the Mustang Mach-E, the Tesla Model Y, and the IONIQ 5, all in one video, seeing which one I think is best. So I hope that's helpful to you guys. But again, I don't care which one you buy. I think they both have their uses. Tesla's definitely the leader in EV technology, right under GM. And it's cool to see how quick these other brands are catching up with their EV technology. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Which one would you choose, the Tesla Model Y, the IONIQ 5? If you're wondering, my Tesla Model Y is wrapped in a Expel satin paint protection film. I got that done at Dynamic Tint in Tempe, Arizona. So if you're wondering why the drip is like up a little bit more on this, that's why. Thank you guys for watching. I hope the video was helpful to you. I'll see you in the next video, and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss any of the upcoming EV content, general automotive content in general. Like the video, we'll see you soon.